Creative mind, welcome to another sewing project. If you're new here, you're welcome. My name is Marvel Greg, and on this channel I share pattern drafting, sewing tutorials, and everything fashion related to make fashion easy and fun. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for constantly supporting this channel. Today's project, you're going to be learning to make this beautiful dress that has a curved back waist effect and a v-neck and an open back. So this dress, it doesn't have an overlap in front, and I'm going to be showing you how to come about it. Now this dress can be made long, just like this yellow one, and it can also be made short, and you can also use any fabric of your choice. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be making use of an African print for this dress, and I'm also going to be showing you at the end of this video how you can style this dress in another way aside this way. So I made use of about 4.5 yard for this dress because of the size I'm working with. If you're making a shorter one, you can use 3 yards, or if you're in a smaller size, you can also make use of 3 yards. Let's get right into the drafting and also the cutting. So my pattern paper, I've gone ahead to highlight all our basic line, the shoulder line, bust points on the bust, waistline. Then for my waistline, I came down by 5 inches for the back waist effect. You can do 5.5 or even 6 inches. So the next step now is to mark out the neck depth. The neck width I'll be making use of, which is about 4 inches. Then my shoulder line is 8 inches that I marked. Then I also went ahead to mark about 12 inches for my sleeve. You know that this is like a cut together. Then I added extra 2 inches, so that is a total of 14 inches that I marked there after marking my 8 inches. Then I went down by 10 inches for my sleeve length. Then for my shoulder slope, I came down by 1 inch and I connected it to the neckline that I'm working with, just like I did here. These are basic things I will always have. So I have a total of about 22 inches. So from that 22 inches, I'll take out 4 inches, which is 18 inches. So I'll mark that 18 inches on my bust point, and I'll just curve it like so for now, and I'll just highlight all my basic lines for you to see. We're also going to be covering this to our under bust much later at the course of this tutorial. So for the neck depth for the front, I'm working with 8 inches, just like so, and I'm going to be curving it in a particular way using my free hand, just like so, because that's the way the dress we're trying to recreate is. So just go ahead and curve it with your curve rule, or you can use your free hand, just like I did here. So for the front, you have for the back is an open back. So I'm going to show you how you can get the open back. If you don't want yours to expose, you can open it to your bust point, which I'm going to be showing you. But if you want it exactly the way it is on the dress, you can do to your under bust. So at my bust point, I came out by 1 inch. So I'll just connect with a dotted line like so for you to see how it's going to be. So just go ahead and label it your back neckline, and also label your front neckline. Why we are labeling is because I'll be using this pattern as well to draft both the back and the front. And because of this tutorial, I'm also going to be showing you how to take out gaping at the back and also gaping at the shoulder because of the kind of dress you're making. So at my under bust, I imputed my circumference, waistline, at the 5 inches after my waistline, I imputed my hip measurement divided by 4, and I connected all round, just like so. So the next step now for us is to go ahead and come at my waistline. I'm going to come down by about 1 inch, and I'm going to be connecting to the 5 inches to get our back waist effect. So you can have an option to just do it straight, just like I'm showing you here, or you can go ahead and make it curvy. So on this dress, it's a curvy back waist effect, and I'm also going to be showing you how you can come about that as well at the course of this tutorial. So at that point, like so, just go ahead and use your curve rule. So you just impute your curve rule at that point, and I'm going to be showing you how you can go ahead and curve it. So use the curvy part of your curve rule, and I'm going to use a dotted line just like I'm showing you here, so that you can get a perfect curvy back waistline, just like so. So the next step now is to curve our armhole down to our underbust, because this is an underbust dress. So I'm going to be marking 17 inches at my underbust, just like so, and I'm going to curve what I have at my bust point. I'll curve our armhole like so. So now I'm going to be adjusting the back to the way I want it. So at my under bust, I'll mark about 1 inches, and I'll connect the open back down to my 1 inches. That's the way the dress we are trying to recreate was made. So if you don't want yours to open too deep, like I said initially, you can just stop at your bust point, but I want this to be deep, and that's why I'm bringing it down to my under bust. So the next step now is for us to just cut it out. Pay attention to how I'm cutting this out. So we're going to be including all our allowances when cutting on our fabric, and I'll also be showing you how you can get rid of gaping at the shoulder point and also at the back of this dress, which is very important to give this dress a very good fitting when you wear it. So take note that we're going to be cutting first for the front piece. So you can see that I only cut out the neckline for the front piece. So this is how yours should look like, and I'm going to place the back's waist effects on fold. That's this for the front back's waist effect. So you can see I'm placing my fabric on fold neatly. I'm going to place it and cut it on fold, but the back one won't be cut on fold. I'll show you how to navigate around that. So I'm going to be adding 1/2 inch on the down side, and at this I'll do 1.5 inches on the sides of this dress. Then at the upper part where we'll be attaching to the upper side of the dress, I'll do 1/2 inch as well. So 1/2 inch on the down side and 1/2 inch on the upper side. Then the sides of the dress, it's 1.5 inches. So just go ahead and watch what I'm doing. Yeah, this upper part I'll do 1/2 inches for attaching it to the gathered part of this dress. So for the back, I'm going to place it 1 inches after. So at the waistline, I'll mark 1/2 inch, and I'll curve it to the down part, and I'll also curve it to the upper part to take out zipper bulge. So the same thing I did, 1/2 inch on the down side, at the side 1.5, at this upper part 1/2 inch as well. So I'll go ahead and cut out the zipper points just like I am doing here. So I'll cut 2 of this. The second one will serve as the lining for the turning of the dress. So just go ahead and cut 2 of this, and also cut 2 for the front piece as well. So this is what it should look like. I'll just go ahead and blend out my zipper points and keep aside. So next now is to cut for the front. So you can see the points where how I'm fixing it. So I'm going to be cutting this on, I'm not going to be cutting the front on fold. Why I'm not going to be cutting it on fold is for us to take out any gaping that might appear at the neckline area. So I'm going to be cutting it open, and I'm not going to be including allowance at that point because I already did that on my pattern paper. At the shoulder point, I'm not including any allowance as well, because this is going to help my dress sit properly on the person that is wearing it. So at the down part, I'm doing only 1/2 inch for allowance to join at the back's waistline. Then at this point here straight up, I'll just do about 1/2 inch, because that is what I'll use to close up for the 2 piece like so. So I'll just go ahead and also cut interfacing for the 8 inches neckline. I'll mark where my neckline stops just like so, so that when I'm stitching, I know exactly where I'm going to be stitching. Now remember, at the armhole point, I did 1/2 inch for allowance as well. So I did 1/2 inch for the armhole area and the down parts only. So by the time I stitch it, I close it up. This is what it should look like here. So next now is to modify our pattern. So to modify our pattern, I'll just cut out how open I want mine to be. So you can be careful not to make it so open, but I wanted mine to be open very well, so I'm just going to go ahead and readjust again, just like I'm doing here. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it like so, and I'm going to cut out for the back piece. So this is how I cut out for the back piece. I only did allowance at the down part, at the armhole part, and at the open part where I'll be closing up. So next now is to begin joining our dress together, and the first step is to go ahead and close up my neckline for the front. I already cut out 2-piece interfacing where I'll be using to close up my neckline for the front. I'll go ahead and do that. After closing up my neckline, the next step now is to go ahead, give it a good press, open it, give it a good press like so, and after giving it a good press, I'll go ahead and put it together, and I'll close my front piece like so. So this closure will help take out any gaping at the neck area, and it will sit properly when you wear it. So next now is to join our back, and for the back I'm just going to, remember I left about 1/2 inch, so I'll just go ahead and close it up like so. So after closing it up, this is what it looks like. I'll go ahead and give it a very good press. So the next part now is to go ahead and join our sleeve and also the shoulder. So first I'll be joining the sleeve first before I join the shoulder, because of the drawstring we're going to be attaching to the shoulder points. So after joining the sleeve and also the shoulder, this is what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and give it a good press before inserting our drawstring. So for the rope I'm using, I have about 18 inches rope. So go ahead and stitch your rope. You should have about 4 ropes. So this is how you open it up like so at the shoulder point, and you fix your rope. So by the time I fix it, I'll top stitch on both ropes first before I go ahead and stitch it all the way to the down point of my dress, just like so. So fold it in like so and stitch it, top stitch on it and stitch it straight down. So after stitching it, this is what it looks like. You can see how beautiful. Ensure that when you are stitching, you do not stitch on the rope so as to enable it to drag properly. So our dress is already coming out very beautifully now. So the next step now is to attach our back waist effect. So for the front back waist, what I'm going to do is to measure what I have in total there, so that when I am imputing my gathers at the upper part, I know exactly to what inches I should gather it to. So after gathering it, I'll go ahead and place one part of the front piece like so on the upper side, and the other side will serve as the lining. I will place it under it, then I'll go ahead and stitch all the way. So you can go ahead and notch the midpoint so that to enable you not to make any mistake while you're stitching this part. So go ahead and stitch all the way to the end of the upper parts to get our back waist effect. You can see how beautifully our top is already. Go ahead and weave that part with your whipping machine. This is what it's looking like. So the next part now is to work on the back side. So to take out any gaping at the back side, what I did to do that so that my back will sit properly is that I took 1.5 inches at the upper part. I'm going to use an arrow to show you the exact point I took out that 1.5 inches. I will go ahead and also gather it like so. After 1 inches, like I'm measuring, I'll go ahead and start gathering it from that 1 inches, because that 1 inches is where I'm going to be imputing my zipper. So this point the arrow is showing is where I took out 1.5 inches. That 1.5 inches I took out helped the dress to sit properly at the back, and it did not gape. So I went ahead to include my zipper, and the next step now is to go ahead and use the other parts that I cut out to turn it over to give it a very neat finishing. So I'll go ahead and place it like so, open up my zipper and ensure that I stitch straight first, then I'll also stitch it down to the points down as well, so that it's going to give my zipper a very neat outcome. So after stitching this side, I'll stitch it down as well. So at this point, if you want yours to extend to the down part, you can go ahead and just leave space so that you attach to the down part of the dress. But for me, this is fine. So you can see how beautiful our dress is already. So next now is to go ahead and input my measurements, and I'll close the sides of this dress. So I'll close the sides of this dress and give it a very good press. So next I'm going to measure what I have round at my back waist effect. Then whatever I have round there, I'll measure it and I'll get ×2 of it. So the length of the down part is 33 inches. That's because I'm making a long dress, and I have 45 inches in 2 places for the gather. You can do more if you have enough fabric to just give it a very full look. So the next step now is to attach my gather down part to the upper part of this dress, and I'll close it first before attaching it, just like so. After attaching it, you can see how beautiful our dress is already looking, how nice it's looking. By the time you wear it, you see how beautiful it is. I remember I told you I'm going to share with you another way to style this dress. I did not forget, and I'm going to share that with you before this video ends. Thank you for watching and sticking to my channel. I'll be seeing you in my next tutorial. Bye.